And a big thank you for joining us this morning. We have Roy Lucas and Deb Farraco from Mass Hire, and they will be the first presenters this morning. Second, we have Dave Terendi from Job Corps, and he will be the second presenter this morning. And we have Jason Walker from Remake 4.0, and he will be the third presenter this morning. So students, I mentioned earlier, please put your name and your high school in the chat box so we have a record of who is here. As the presentations go on, if you have a question, please put that in the chat box. We will monitor it. And if we have time to get answers to the questions during the presentation, we will do that. If we don't, we have built in a question and answer time at the end. Are there any questions before we start? Okay, then I will hand it over to, I think it's Roy who is speaking first and Deb second. Is that right?
Actually, it's the opposite. It's Deb first.
Deb
Roy
first,
second.
Roy second. Okay.
That's okay. He said, ladies before gentlemen, as Roy said. He is a true gentleman. So good morning, everybody. My name is Deb Farraco, and I work for Mass Hire's Central Region Workforce Board. And we are affiliated with the Mass Hire Career Center, which Roy is going to fill you in on. But what I'm going to talk to you today is about what the board does. So at the Workforce Board, we are responsible for finding out what careers are up and coming, what jobs are out there. Is there a greater need in one area than another? We talk to companies and we make sure that we are training people in training programs that lead to careers. So the majority of the work that I do for the board is to develop training programs. We do this by going for grants, and usually with the state of Massachusetts, with ComCorp Corporation, we will go in and ask for money to run the training programs. So the training programs that we're currently running, and I think Ann has some flyers, if you could throw up a flyer for me. So let me start with the first one that we're currently recruiting for. It is for our jobs fund, and that is run through the board as well, and it's for anybody who lives in the city of Worcester. And to qualify for any of their training programs that I'm going to speak about, you need to be over 18 years of age, be from a low income to moderate income household, and be a citizen of the USA, as well as having a high school diploma or a GED. And all of our programs do require that drug tests be taken. And I think that's the majority of the requirements. So the first one I want to talk to you about is the apprenticeship program, and that is in the trades. And that's for any kind of job, carpentry, plumbing. You do a little bit of each of the trades to find out which one you might want to enroll in. And the next training is coming up. It's an 8-week training, and it's going to be starting in April of 2021. Okay. We're also offering a clinical medical assistant program, and that's to hire people in the hospital. We work with UMass, and that is going to be starting in April as well, and it runs through August. And just to give you an idea, it's Tuesday, Wednesdays, and Thursdays from 6 to 9 p.m. So it is at night. All of these programs, I know all of you are in high school, so you wouldn't be able to, leave school and take a training program in April, but we will have reoccurring training programs. So I just want to fill you in on the ones we're doing now. One of the industries that is up and coming and has a lot of job openings in Worcester is to become a CDL driver. So those are the big rig truck drivers, or as we know them, the tractor trailer, as well as the box trucks. So we are offering lots of training in that area. The Worcester Jobs Fund, thank you, Kathia. The Worcester Jobs Fund offers a training. I am also going to be offering a training for the next year and a half, both in the Class A and Class B. And the veterans, if you know anybody who is a veteran or you're a family member of a veteran, we also have a training program there as well. So how would you know when the trainings are coming up? And Roy is going to get into how to become a member of MassHire's Career Center, which will open up a whole wealth of information for you. But if you're interested in training, you can simply go on to www.masshirecentral.com, and it will connect you to a link with all the present training. And we'll make sure you get a flyer on that as well. So right now in the Worcester area, the 3 hot industries that have a lot of job openings are transportation and logistics, of course, healthcare, especially now during these COVID times, and manufacturing, which I think Jason's here and he's going to fill you in on that as well. So that is all I have to talk about our current training programs, but we will have more coming up in the future. So if you keep checking in on that MassHire Central, you'll see not only our trainings, but all the other trainings in the area. Sometimes QCC does a training program, and all of our trainings are free. That's the best part, okay? That's it for me. Roy, you're on.
Thanks, Deb. And as Deb alluded to, we are here at MassHire Workforce Board, as well as MassHire Career Centers, are in partnership with one another. Actually, the WIB oversees all activities of the MassHire Career Centers throughout the Central region. We can go to the next slide. First of all, I want to welcome everybody and thank you for all showing up. It shows me your commitment to training opportunities. It shows me your commitment to employment opportunities as far as continuing your education. It's really wonderful to see all the faces out there who decide to join this webinar. So what is MassHire? If you know what MassHire is, just testing you, go ahead and put it in your chat box if you think you know what MassHire is. Or you can just look at the PowerPoint slide. That may help you a little bit as well. So MassHire Department of Career Center Services oversees all Massachusetts network of MassHire Career Centers that assists businesses in finding qualified individuals for their companies, as well as providing what we call individuals that come to our career centers, job seekers, with guidance in terms of referring them to jobs, training for jobs, and all kind of wonderful things. There are over 100,000 employers. 90% of the employers in the state of Massachusetts are part of the MassHire Career Centers. And so there are a lot of jobs, over 100,000 jobs on our database. And as we go through this presentation, you'll see what I mean. Next slide, please. So what do I and MassHire Career Centers, how do we work? What do we do? Next slide. We help individuals with resumes. We help individuals explore occupational matches. So if you don't even know what you want to do, we're the people to come to. The staff here will help you to figure out what it is when I get out of school. Do I want to go further on? Do I want pick up a trade like Deb mentioned? Do I want to have some training before I go back to school? Do I want to go to college? So we have a large community base. So depending on what you want to do, we want to really help you figure that out. Also, we want you to learn about the different all the options you will have in terms of occupation. And so you may want to be, I always say, you may want to be an astronaut. How do you become an astronaut? What will it take? How much schooling will you need? How many years will it take to complete your academics? How do you get an internship or externship when it comes to that? And also, if I don't really want to do all the school, is there any other ways that I can become an astronaut? So finding training programs, finding educational programs, and we do that through our partnerships with other organizations and other community organizations throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts and beyond. Next slide, please. Hopefully you guys like Bob the Builder. Try to make them funny. What other services are available? Well, the first thing you may want, after you know what you want to do, we help you with a resume, and we are now lining you up to meet with that employer. You may really want to know how to talk to the employer. And so we want to really show you some of the top interview skills that are needed and necessary. We want to make sure that your resume match those skills that you're going to be talking about to the employer. And so we want to do mock interviews. We're willing to do mock interviews. We're willing to really get you beyond feeling nervous about, having an interview. Most people, when they go to their first interview, they're kind of nervous. What type of interviews are there? We want to prepare you from A to Z on how you can be successful during that interview process. And again, we want you to be able to build a word we call rapport. We want you to be able to build that rapport, whether you're doing it online, doing a more of a virtual interview, or whether you're doing it in person. We want you to be able to show the best you, because you only get one opportunity to make a first impression. So we do it by really top interview skills. Next slide, please. Also, when the Career Center is open, we have a plethora of different type of resources, equipment, business equipment, computers, fax machine, copiers, printers, all of it state of the art. We have flash drives. Actually, now we do a lot with the cloud, but we still offer flash drives. We can provide resume paper for you. You name it, we do it here. So again, you can come in. We can help you with the job search. We can help you look for jobs. We can help you through that whole process here at the Career Centers. Also, right now during the COVID period, we are offering online job fairs. So we do a lot with virtual job fairs, and we really have a lot of opportunities now. So if you take a peek at our website, you're going to notice that when we offer these job fairs, and my population that I work with is 16 to 25. So if you're 16 years of age all the way up to infinity, if you just want to work, we can assist you with work and training opportunities. So if you're a young person that's 16, please reach out as well. I know that there are certain training opportunities that you have to be 18 for, but you can start working as early as 16 years old. So we're doing a lot of wonderful things. We have a job fair coming up for high school students, March 31st. And so you can look on our website, find out more information, and we can help you. I know there's some questions. If you guys can just direct whatever questions there are and help me with that, I will be able to answer them as well. Next slide, please. So the next steps are really interesting. Before you can do this step, what we're going to do is encourage you to join the Career Center. And joining the Career Center is absolutely free. Let me say it again. There is no cost in joining the Career Center, but yet we have all these wonderful services, whether you're youth or young adult, all the way to adulthood. And once you join the Career Center, we provide 2 different steps in helping you to be able to take advantage of all the training, all the job opportunities, as well as resume writing, interviewing technique. I lost you guys for a second. Interviewing technique. So we really want, if you don't feel very comfortable, we'll assign a counselor to assist you in that process, or you can do it on your own. Or you can be like me. You can do a little bit on your own and then seek out some assistance to help you with those tougher areas, that you may need assistance with. So we do it both ways. Those are our 2 most used strategies in helping people to gain good success in terms of training or employment opportunities. Do we have any questions yet?
Yes, we do, Roy. We have a
Okay.
few questions. So we had a
Okay.
question. The first one was, do you need to be 18 for these jobs? Which I think you kind of answered, a little bit there. But also going in part along with that question is the next question, which is, I think Deb might have answered it just now in the chat, but they're asking about, like, they're not graduating yet, right? We don't graduate until May, June. So these programs are in April. So what, can you explain how they can get into maybe the next round or something?
Absolutely. So the first part of that, you do not have, there are certain employers that want you to be 18 years old, of course. But then there are other employers that if you have permission to work, you are eligible to work. Now, some of our training programs, when we partner with the WIB, with Deb, with who Deb is with, you do have to, in terms of training, you would have to be 18. But in terms of jobs, again, you can start as early as 16. Actually, you can start earlier. But in our case, we're looking for you to be 16 years of age or older. And the second part is, do this process now while you're in school. Don't wait until after you graduate. Here's a case in point. You can find a part-time job or find a place where they could probably take you on for an intern or externship. That way you're building up your skills and in different occupational skills. And that will make you great. That will give you greater marketability and finding what you really want to do. And it'll give you an opportunity to see what type of occupations that you're really interested in. You may look at a restaurant, say, I don't want to use McDonald's, but say Dairy Queen. You may look at Dairy Queen and you may go, okay, at Dairy Queen, I don't really want to be in the food industry, but there are so many other industries connected to Dairy Queen. There's the manager. He's not really doing the cook, but he may know how to cook. There may be someone who has great customer service skills and may know how to run a cash register. So all these different occupations will come into use. And the more you know, the more opportunities you're going to have. And again, don't wait until after you graduate, because there are other programs when you join the Career Center that you may have opportunities for. Like we partner with as one of our sister, the city of Worcester. We hire people during the summertime, and to work with young people. Maybe you want to work with people, or maybe you want to work landscape or whatever it may be. Don't wait. Start the process now. And then whether it's paid or whether it's a volunteering of some sort, it's going to give you some opportunities. And so there are employers right now that if you're mature 16, mature 17, you may not be able to work certain hours, but they will consider hiring you. And that's when we come into, that's when we can really help in that whole process. So that's when you need to reach out to myself in the Career Center, and we can actually start helping in that process. Does that answer the question? Okay.
I think it does. Yep. Great.
All right. The other thing is, even before the interview or during or after the interview process, we really want you to have these soft skills. We call them customer service skills. You want to build rapport. And there are like 5 that you should really be strong in. There are 10 customer service skills, but there are like 5 key skills in terms of the resume as well as just personal. You want to have knowledge, as much knowledge as you can get, skills, abilities, and then know the different work activities. Again, the more you know, the better off you're going to be in that situation. So know that. And then what are you interested in? The first question I always ask a young person that will come and visit the Career Center, who may be assigned to myself because I am the youth coordinator. The first question I'm saying, what do you want? If they tell me I want a job, well, what type of job do you want? And if you tell me I don't know, that's scary to me, right? So if you don't know, you don't know what you don't know. But here's what I will say. Pick 3 different things that you're interested in doing, that you have passion for. And then let's try to find out what career paths or what type of occupations offer that. Okay. So you can see the slide. There are 10 soft skills. The more rapport you have, the more you're comfortable around people, self-control, listening skills, positive attitude, taking responsibility, being empathetic. So just showing those skills, employers hire people who they like, who they want to be like, or who are like them. So once you start building up your networking, your marketing, you're going to have greater success when you find someone like who hires, if you're looking for a job, or even if you're looking for training. People hire or train people who they like, who are like them, or who they want to be like. So that may be a quiz later on. Next slide, please. So remember how I said that in the Central Region, we have 2 career centers? Well, throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts, there are 25 career centers to date. So here in the Central Region, we have 2, and they represent all 37 surrounding towns, and the city of Worcester, which is 38, and providing these different services for. So, and the next slide, please. And you can locate it by doing the link. Mass Hire, how you register for our services, you're going to go to Mass Hire Job Quest. And then under Mass Hire Job Quest, you're going to find just so many additional services like job match, skills, experience, current openings that we have. The visible job hiring processes for employers. So employers are looking for qualified candidates. Why is that important? To know your labor market information, because the more you have those skills, the more you'll be more appealing to that employer to hire you. You can upload your resume on the Job Quest. We can help you with the recruitment, the whole recruiting process in terms of job fairs. Guys, let me know if I'm going too long. And then just the different Career Center events. Next slide, please. How do you sign up? Go to Mass Hire Job Quest. And then the next slide, please. That's our locations of our 2 areas. One is in Southbridge, the other one is in Worcester. And next slide, please. So you can go to Mass Hire, www.masshire.com. And then you're going to go to register now, click on that box, fill out, just follow the prompts, fill out that information, and then go to a orientation. Right now they're virtual and they're not that long. It's about an hour, if that. And then once you're done with that, you are a member of the Career Center. So you qualify for our training funds. You qualify for any type of additional help. We partner with a lot of wonderful agencies like Mass EdCo, and we QCC. We have a representative from QCC on site. If you needed additional help in your studies, say something happens and you don't get your high school diploma, we offer the HiSET. We work with just about every agency imaginable. And if we can't get it done, we will find out who can. So again, our relationships in terms of collaboration is great. And so we try to take advantage of that. Next slide, please. If you're looking for training, we know there are different areas throughout the Commonwealth of Massachusetts that you may want to train in. You can type in keyword, provider's name, course name. Again, we have other exploration tools that can help you be able to choose your occupation. And then once you know, we can tell you what schools are best fitted for those occupations. And that's when we can also utilize Mass EdCo and other great services out there. Next slide, please. Yeah, such as Career Information Systems, I mentioned that earlier, and also the ONET Online. And you may be familiar with some of these tools because they are introduced through the guidance counselors of your schools. But again, if you just wanted a more personal touch, we can help you just to be able to, and if you haven't, of course, been introduced to them, we can help you with that. Next slide, please. Okay, so if you have any questions, I know I was long-winded. It's just nice to see faces on the monitor.
All right. Do we have any other questions, Kathia, that we can answer or that we should ask and get an answer to before we move on?
I think we've done pretty much all the questions there. The only thing is I have been asked if we can have your email address and contact information directly, Roy. Is that possible?
Absolutely. I'll put it in the chat box.
Great. That would be great.
And then so I'll do that. And thank you for the opportunity, and look forward to speaking with you all.
Thank you very much, Roy. So next we have Dave Terendi from Job Corps. Dave, are you ready to go ahead?
I am ready. Thank you, Ann. My name's Dave Terendi. I've been with Job Corps for in my 29th year with our program. I believe in this program. Obviously, it's a great program. I've seen it help thousands of young people. I'm a Worcester kid, just like everybody here from the Worcester Public Schools are on this. I get excited talking to all the Worcester Public School kids. I'm a North High grad. Roy was a Burncoat grad. We won't hold that against him, but you know, it's okay, Roy. He's still, in spite of that, very successful. That's great. Good for you. What Job Corps is. Job Corps is a federally funded education job training program provided by the United States Department of Labor. It's for people ages 16 to 24 years old. And some people may know a little bit about our program. It's sometimes thought of as sort of like a second chance program where someone who didn't get their high school diploma can come to a Job Corps program and get his or her GED or diploma and learn a really good trade, learn some skills. We also are a terrific option for high school graduates. And every year I help put, you know, hundreds of high school grads onto different Job Corps campuses around our region. So we really are a great option. The best thing about our program is if you're eligible, it is free. It's essentially a scholarship provided by the United States Department of Labor. It amounts to about a $30,000 scholarship per person per year. The training is excellent. There's a lot of support services on Job Corps campuses, and it's from beginning to end. So what I mean by that is it's all about the outcome in Job Corps, and we really emphasize job placement and what you do at the end of the program. And you even get job placement services for a year after you complete our program. So again, the support services on campuses while you're in the program and beyond the program are terrific. So I didn't include a slide presentation. And the reason I didn't do that is because there are a lot of different options with Job Corps, and I didn't want to just concentrate on one campus. Every Job Corps center offers different programs. The closest campus is the Grafton Job Corps Center. It's about 15 minutes from downtown. That Job Corps Center offers some great trades, some great programs, carpentry, electrician, and plumbing, all pre-apprenticeship programs, an excellent Homeland Security and Protective Services program, a culinary arts and hospitality program, and then two awesome medical related programs, certified nursing assistant with home health aid and clinical medical assistant with phlebotomy technician. So that's the local Job Corps Center. Now, there are two other Job Corps centers in Massachusetts, and there are campuses all over New England. So if you wanted to pursue a skill or a trade that the local campus didn't offer, then you can apply to that other campus and you can go away and live on campus. Job Corps is mostly a residential program. So we offer everything, the dormitory, all the living, the social development is all free, all provided for, all the meals, everything is free. So there's a lot of terrific options throughout the New England region on different Job Corps centers. We are not like traditional school. So what we are is an open and based program, which means interested young people can apply at any time during the year. So it's wide open. So whenever you feel like you want to apply to Job Corps and you know, you weren't sure, you know, right after you heard from me and 6 months later, a year from later, what have you, whenever the spirit moves you, so to speak, you can apply to Job Corps. So it's an open enrollment program. So once you get going, new students start and finish on a weekly basis. So that self-paced aspect of our program is terrific. You actually get 24 months of eligibility to finish your program, but depending on what you need to get out of a Job Corps center and the trades that are offered, the trades that you're interested in, the average stay is anywhere from around 8 or 9 months up to about 14, 15 months. But again, it's self-paced, so it's really about the individual in our program. Small classroom sizes, a lot of attention from instructors, from your guidance counselor on center, and again, just a ton of terrific support services on and off the campuses. So that said, what makes you eligible? So age 16 to 24. You must be a legal resident of this country. So either born here or here as, you know, with a green card or work authorization card or what have you. We are federally funded. We do background checks. We're not like other programs. So you can't have any pending or unresolved criminal cases. You can't be on supervised probation. And there's an income piece to it, but usually all of the Worcester Public School applicants are income eligible. That's something we would talk about at your time of applying to the program. And it's not something I worry about right now. I did put my my office is right in downtown Worcester, 250 Commercial Street. I'm on the 3rd floor. And I put my contact information in the chat box, and I'm also providing our URL address. It's really simple. The easiest way to find out about Job Corps is to just do it on your own. We have a terrific website, jobcorps.gov, or you can just Google search a particular campus like Grafton. The website is terrific. Interested people can take virtual tours of all the Job Corps campuses on the website. All the training options are provided and listed on the website. And you're also able to fill out an online application. You put in your name, your address, all of that info. And if you're from Worcester, that would come to me in the system and I would contact you. So you don't even need to contact me directly. You can just fill out the online application on our website and an admissions counsel will contact you and get the ball rolling with you. So remember, I said that we're an open enrollment program, which means there is no summer vacation in Job Corps. It is a year-round program. There's about a 2.5-week break or so during the winter around the holidays, but otherwise it's a year-round program. All Job Corps students, once they start in the program, are technically considered employees of the Department of Labor. So that said, Job Corps students get paid while they're in the program. It certainly isn't a lot of money, but you get a stipend on a bi-weekly basis. There's a bonus at the end of the program. And another terrific benefit of our program is that we offer driver's education. So if you don't have your learner's permit or your driver's license, you would do your learner's permit class with us. We pay for your learner's permit. We teach you how to drive and we take you for your road test and we pay for your driver's license. That is a terrific benefit. It's all free. It's all part of the program. The reason why we offer that, though, is it's a win-win for us, because ultimately our goal is to see all of our students succeed on Job Corps centers and transition from the Job Corps campus they're living on or even commuting to, transition from that program into a really good job with long-term career opportunities. So we see you getting your driver's license as an employability skill. It's going to be much easier for us after our career transition people have worked with you, polished up your resume, done a lot of job interviewing techniques. After you've done an internship or an externship, it's still going to be much easier for you to get that good job if you can drive. So we see driver's ed as a really big advantage, and offering the driver's license to our students is really, really important. I did mention commuting. Those of you from Worcester could be eligible to commute to the Grafton campus. It's close enough. It's really the only campus you could commute to. The other ones are too far away. So if you wanted to participate in another Job Corps program, you would have to live in the dorms. We do offer transportation for our commuter students. The Job Corps bus picks up right downtown if you don't have your own vehicle. So that's something we could talk about when you came in for an interview. One of the things that we really focus on is career success standards in our program, and we focus on 8 of them that I guess, work for all industries and work for everybody, but a Job Corps specific thing. Those are communication, multicultural awareness, information management, interpersonal skills, independent living skills, workplace relationships and ethics, career and personal planning, and personal growth and development. So in addition to learning how to become an electrician, learning all the hard and technical schools, or learning how to become a proficient medical assistant and working with patients, our students learn a lot of the soft skills and learn a lot of the skills that will, help make them successful in the workplace and hopefully help them progress and be promoted and move on with their careers. So we take that stuff very seriously. And that training is a very big, important aspect of what we do in Job Corps. I get excited talking about it. I love what we do in Job Corps. I love what I do. It's a terrific program. I am here all the time. They actually never let me leave my office. I've been here all through COVID. I haven't seen my wife in about 13 years. So feel free to reach out to me at any time. Email, call, text. You have my cell phone number. I will add my mobile phone to that, my office line. Check out the website. Hopefully, then if these are a bunch of seniors on here, this won't help you, but hopefully we'll be through this whole mess. And next year I'll be doing these presentations in person with high school students like I'm used to doing, and as Roy and Deb Ferraco are, as well. If there are any questions, please ask away, or you can reach out to me personally. I've left my information. Before that, I'd like to thank Ann and everybody else in Mass EdCo for hosting this. This is a terrific thing they did for everybody. And I'm glad to come on and sell our program. And I can tell you that if Job Corps isn't for you, the assistance you'll get through Lucas and Faraco at the Mass Hire is tremendous. And we all kind of work in conjunction with each other. So no shortage of options for any of the students on this, what are we on? Zoom? Is it Google
Yeah.
Class? Is it WebEx?
Zoom.
I forget.
You definitely didn't waste your time today, right? By joining the Zoom, you're getting valuable information. So.
Absolutely, because we don't use Zoom, we use WebEx, we use Google Class. I can't keep up with it, but I'm a dinosaur, so
Dave, I think you hit some of the questions, but I just want to make sure the student here wants to know if it works for international students. Can they attend?
Sure, international students. So as long as you're living in this country legally. So if you have a permanent resident alien card, or you have a
Green card or a visa or something.
Right, the green card is that, or even you come in with refugee or asylee status and you have the I-94 card, then you're eligible. Absolutely. As long as you're eligible to live and work here, you can do Job Corps.
All right, and then there was you covered the residential piece, so we can commute to the Grafton one. We know that for Jay
Correct.
there. And then there was one more question about what are the other Job Corps other than the Grafton closest
Okay, so
to
that's
us?
a good question. So the Shriver Job Corps Center is the next closest. That's up at Fort Devens off of Route 2. It's about 40 minutes from Worcester. The next one in Massachusetts is in Western Mass. That's the Westover Job Corps Center in Chicopee. They have a lot of great programs. And then there are 2 Job Corps centers in Maine, the Loring Job Corps Center and the Penobscot Job Corps Center. The Loring Job Corps Center is on the Maine-Canadian border. It is very far away, but it's a beautiful campus. There's the Northlands Job Corps Center in Vermont, right near Lake Champlain, just south of Burlington, Vermont, another beautiful campus, a beautiful area to live and learn. There are 2 Job Corps centers in Connecticut, the Hartford Job Corps Center and the New Haven Job Corps Center. And then there is one in Rhode Island, south of Providence, the Exeter Job Corps Center. And then there's a bunch all over upstate New York. There's actually a Job Corps Center in the Boogie Down Bronx and South Bronx down there. Any Yankee fans out there? And there is a one in New Jersey, the Edison Job Corps Center in Edison, New Jersey. So young people from Worcester, from this area, can apply to any Job Corps Center in our region. We call it Region 1, which is the 6 New England states, New York and New Jersey. And we also included in our region is the Virgin Islands and Puerto Rico. There are a couple Job Corps centers in Puerto Rico. Those centers are very difficult to get into from up here. They're great campuses, but that's something we could talk about when you come in. So there's a lot of terrific options. And one last thing I will say is advanced training opportunities at Job Corps centers all across the country. So for instance, someone could come in and go to Shriver Job Corps Center and do automotive tech, complete that base program and qualify for advanced training. And if they get accepted to advanced training, they would do that advanced automotive tech program at the Clearfield Job Corps Center in Utah, out in the western part of the country. And we fly out there and you live there for a while. You get certified in every aspect of working on the motor vehicle. It's supported by the United Auto Workers. So that's just one example. There are advanced training opportunities all over the country, and we send students all over the country for advanced training. So it's more free training on the government, and you get to live and see another part of the country too. So what's wrong with that?
Perfect. Thank you, Dave. That
You're
answers the question. Thanks.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, Dave. Next, we have Jason Walker from Remake 4.0. And Jason, are you ready?
I am. I'm just sharing my screen right now. Hold on. Can you see that?
Yes.
Awesome. My name is Jason Walker. I work for Remake 4.0. Our website is remakema.com if you want to go there. We have job postings posted there, and we also have some of the trainings that I'm going to discuss posted there. So remakema.com. Massachusetts has identified manufacturing as a top priority. Remake 4.0 is a state-funded grant tasked with changing the perception of manufacturing and manufacturing careers and increase the manufacturing workforce pipeline. Manufacturing in Massachusetts is doing well because of a great governmental climate and mass business incentives. Manufacturing is one of the few industries that has not slowed down at all during the pandemic. For some companies, they've actually increased their productivity by pivoting to produce essential products such as PPEs, masks, and other safety equipment. Thank you. Remake 4.0 is a revolutionary partnership between employers, educators, and workforce boards geared towards making Massachusetts the epicenter of America's manufacturing. Massachusetts has led the nation's revolutions with bold action since our country's inception, and Remake 4.0 is inviting you to join today's industrial revolution. Next slide. Remake 4.0 invites, trainings invite the daring, the bold, and the free thinkers to experience and learn the skills necessary to make a change and build your career. Our programs are designed to spark interest and ignite passion from experienced workers and new recruits alike while building skills and attitudes that make workplaces thrive. Next slide. On this graph, which is from pre-pandemic, you can see that manufacturing is a key foundation of the US economy. We have great infrastructure for manufacturing in Massachusetts, and the central region is a catalyst for manufacturing in Massachusetts and has a rich history of economic and community development. This graph shows a breakdown before the pandemic, and the pandemic has affected a number of these industries, including business services, construction, wholesale, and retail trade. So those pieces have shrunk while manufacturing is probably even bigger. We don't have the statistics just yet. I'm sure they'll be rolling in now that we are at a year of the pandemic. But manufacturing companies have not slowed down. As a matter of fact, some of them have actually gained traction because they've been building or making so many safety PPEs, shields that are in place, all kinds of things that manufacturing has pivoted to assist during the pandemic. So I wouldn't be surprised if their piece of this slide, when we, this pie, when we see it the next time, is going to be a bigger slice. Next slide. Some major manufacturing industries here in central Massachusetts include medical device, semiconductor, food and beverage production, and there is some aerospace and defense also. Next slide. Some of the companies here in Central Mass include AIMTech, AIS, Blue Hive, Cogmetics, Eaton, IPG, Photonics, Ken's Dressing, and Sauce, Lutco, Phillips Precision, Polar, Saint-Gobain, Table Talks Pie, and WireFab. These are companies that I have a relationship with all these companies, trying to find people to put to work in different categories and different positions at all of these different companies. All of these companies are hiring. All of these companies have more openings than they have people to apply. So getting and starting a career in manufacturing is great, especially at this time. Next slide. There is a stigma that surrounds jobs in manufacturing. There's a misconception that these jobs are low paying, dirty, dangerous. But at Remake 4.0, we know that's not true. There's plenty of upward mobility, there's meaningful work, and a multitude of opportunities. Manufacturing has always been at the cutting edge of technology. And as modern manufacturing moves into Industry 4.0, jobs will be using state-of-the-art equipment to build a better future. When I talk to students a lot, I have students that are interested in such things as, fighting robots. I'm not sure how realistic a career fighting robots is, but I can guarantee you in manufacturing, there are careers creating, building, programming robots. You could be working with robots every single day. Next slide. A lot of people ask, what is Industry 4.0? I'll give you a brief history of the different levels of industry. Industry 1.0 was in the late 18th century. was introduced when mechanical production facilities to the world. Water and steam powered machines were developed to help workers in mass production of goods. Industry 2.0, the main contributor to this was a revolution, was the development of machines running on electrical energy and the assembly line. Industry 3.0 was a huge leap ahead wherein the advent of computers and automation ruled. And we are on the cusp and the very beginnings of Industry 4.0, which refers to the new phase in the Industrial Revolution that focused heavily on interconnectivity, automation, machine learning, and real-time data. Next slide. Remake 4.0 is going to be the bridge here in Central Massachusetts. It's going to be the bridge between the present and the future. It's going to be the bridge between Industry 3.0 and 4.0, and the bridge between the workforce and manufacturers. Next slide. Some of the classes that we have that are currently running, that we're planning on running again, and that will be running in the future include Introduction to Machine Operation. This course is ideal for someone interested in basic machining skills. The course covers entry-level skills necessary in the machine technology field. Next slide. CNC machining. This covers basic computer skills, shop essentials, inspection, metal cutting, materials, and mechanical systems that introduce to CNC, which stands for Computer Numeric Controlled Machining. So that is a step up and involves more programming the machine. Next slide. CAD stands for Computer Aided Design. That is stepping away from actually running the machine on a daily basis and drawing the parts that the machines are going to make. The topics include drawing setup, geometry creating, editing functions, layering techniques, dimensioning, model and paper space, title block creation, and plotting and a completed drawing. Next one. We also have Six Sigma. There is 100 hours of training that teaches the essential strategies and tools necessary for process improvement. So basically, this is something that's going to make sure that you're going to be inspecting parts as they come in, inspecting pieces as they go out, because inspection is a huge part of manufacturing, to make sure the pieces that you get in are the meet the requirements to make the products, and then obviously inspecting the products as they are getting shipped out. Next slide. And speaking of robotics, we have an automation and robotics class. It's a hands-on program that prepares students for jobs in advanced manufacturing companies and for additional training for the future. The concepts and skills presented during the program are relevant to setup, programming, running, and troubleshooting automated equipment. Next slide. And then we have an augmented reality welding class. This is a class where welding typically is something that is highly expensive to train in because the raw products and the raw materials that you need to learn how to weld. Well, this is actually a 3D welding class where you'd be using a mask, as you see in this picture, but that mask is going to have a screen on it. That's a 3D representation of the actions you'd be doing. So it's a highly advanced mask. You'll be using, a welder, something that represents a welder and a piece that you're welding, all in 3D augmented reality. So there's not any actual welding done, but we have people that have experience in welding that have taken this class to get the technical side of welding down, and they say this is exactly what welding represents and what it is. It's going to teach people the language of welding and the very basics of welding. And the class filled up. I had that 10 spots open for that class, and it filled up in about 3 or 4 days. Next slide. So basically, the manufacturing industry is bringing jobs back to Massachusetts, driving a need for people with unique and specific skill sets. Remake 4.0 actively works with Massachusetts manufacturing leaders to enroll and fund new people into the pipeline. And we also get, so we work to put people to work. We also work to train people to go to work. We also work with these companies to have people that have been in the companies 3, 4, 5 years to come take classes with us so they can train to take the next steps in their career. The manufacturing industry is heading into what is something is pretty well known, where they know that the average age in manufacturing is over 50 years old. So that's going to create a tremendous void when these people are retiring over the next 5, 10, 15 years, which is going to create a tremendous opportunity that people get into manufacturing now are going to be able to get careers without bringing on the burden of student loans. These companies, if they identify someone by the quality and quantity of their work, are willing to invest to keep people, to keep training people, to send people to training, to upskill people so they can become more advanced in their positions, become supervisors, team leads, managers, and all those type of positions. They're expecting a great drop off from their current workforce due to retirement. So there's going to be a vacuum of people that they're looking to promote pretty quickly if you do get into the manufacturing industry. In closing, Remake 4.0 and the grant I work for is designed to re-engineer the talent pipeline specifically for manufacturing in Massachusetts. And again, the website is remakema.com. You can go there to see upcoming trainings that we have on our training page. And we also have a job page, which will show you actual current job openings that you could apply to as soon as you're 18 years old, because in manufacturing, generally 18 years old is the minimum age to get a job in manufacturing. That's all I have. Thank you.
Kathia, are there questions?
Perfect. So we have a few questions for you. Starting with, are these classes free for students?
The classes are free for students. The classes are paid for or subsidized, I guess it would be the term, through the grant that I work for, Remake 4.0. So part of the grant is to set aside money to pay for the classes. So if someone's unemployed, the class is free. If someone is working and a company is sending someone to be upskilled or whatever, we do ask that the company pays us, a percentage of the class, 25%. But for someone that's not working, or even if you are working in a different industry and you'd like to learn about manufacturing, in that case, if you were working, you could take the class for free.
Perfect. Awesome. And could you tell us about some of the salaries in manufacturing in these areas?
Sure. The manufacturing industry is one of those industries that, the entry level is not going to blow anybody away. It's going to be, $14, $15, $16, $17 an hour, depending on the job. But in that ballpark, but that's not where the true outlook of the career in manufacturing is. It's 2, 3, 4 years down the road where the growth is, when they are willing to invest in you. And there's people that are making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, $90,000 after 4 or 5 years in manufacturing. And the huge advantage of that is, number one, if you go in and start off as a machine operator, assembler, a picker packer, and the quality and quantity of your work, highlights to the company and they want to invest in you, they're willing to pay for your college. They're willing to pay for you to take training classes. They're willing to send you to training classes. They're willing to bring in people to train. And that means you could be making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 a year without the burden of a college loan, which, I don't have the exact comparison, but if you have a $200,000 student loan and you're making $60,000, $70,000, $80,000, or $100,000, I'd rather be making $80,000 without a student loan than $100,000 with a student loan.
Perfect. Thank you for that. Now, do you have any opportunities, like apprenticeship type of opportunities in your program?
We do. I'm actually working with a couple of companies right now for apprenticeships. We're setting up an apprenticeship I have a call next Thursday to set up an apprenticeship. And then following that phone call, I have another phone call. We're going to set up one apprenticeship. As soon as that's kind of in the works, we're going to set up another one. So we reach out to manufacturers on a regular basis. I partner with Worcester Tech, Drew Weymouth at Worcester Tech for internships. And that is to put people that are actually in high school right now, get them on-site training. And then we also partner with apprenticeships and companies trying to get apprenticeships in place. I'm actually working with one of the classes that I have that's actually going right now. It's the first time I've ever been involved in anything like this. It is a college credit class at Quinsigamond. So you could take this class, you could get college credits for this class. The class is paid for through our grant. And at the midway point, which is basically spring break is next week, following spring break, we're doing the evaluations for the class. And the top 4 students out of 10 in this class are going to get a paid training for the second half of the class. So the first half of the class was done as a normal class. The second half of the class for 4 particular students, they're going to a local Worcester company. They're going to get a paid training for the rest of the semester. And that's with the goal of, at the end of the class, number 1, they're going to get college credit for it. And number 2, they have a month and a half or 2 months to prove to themselves and learn and hopefully get offered a job by the company where they're getting the paid training for. So it's like, there's no other class that I've ever seen like that, where it's paid for, it's a college credit, it's a paid training, and with the hope of getting a job after the training. I've never seen anything like that. So it's a pretty cool thing that we're working on.
Yeah, sounds like a great collaboration and a lot of opportunities for students there. When would be the next free classes that our students, because they're seniors and they're not necessarily graduating until, June, when could they potentially attend?
We are working on, we have 4 or 5 classes right now that are currently going based on the college semester, started in January, ending in May. But at the end of May, we're looking to start another class. I'm hoping that the class that I just described, where it's the college class that with the paid training, I'm hoping that is a success, and we will replicate that class either at the end of May or the beginning of June. That will be the next class that I'm targeting. And that would, again, if the class is successful that we're running now, hopefully we'll run it again in June, and it might time out perfectly for someone to get a college credit class that's paid for, get a paid training, and hopefully go right into a job out of it.
Perfect. I think that is all the questions as of right now, Anne.
All right, so I do want to thank everyone. I want to ask students one more time, or others who are listening, do you have questions that you would like to ask before we adjourn?
Yes,
Perfect. Feel free to unmute.
I have a question, but it's not for him, though.
That's okay. It can be for anybody.
Yeah, that was for the man, the guy before him. Sorry, I
So
don't know.
Dave
Dave.
Terenzi?
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. Sure.
So let's say that my graduation is in June. When is it like, because I'm on the website now and I'm seeing all the programs that they have about healthcare, about the healthcare units. So I was hoping, like, is it like a full year or like more than that? Because I'm like kind of confused.
All right, so again, so it can be confusing. We're not like what you're used to with school. So when I said we're not a traditional education program, that's what I meant. So it's a self-paced program. And so you could apply when you are ready to apply, whenever you are. And each program takes different amounts of time. So it's hard for me to tell you how long it would take to complete because you're working at your own pace. But a lot of the healthcare related programs, you can finish usually in anywhere from like 6 to 8 or 9 months. That's a good guess. But again, that's something we would talk about when you were, here for your interview, so because then I would know what you were really interested in and I can be more specific with you. And if you're graduating this year, you can apply right away and you can get going right away. Or if you wanted to take the summer off, that's fine. You could contact me in the middle of the summer to apply for like a September start. So you just need to reach out to me when you're ready to do it.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome. Thanks for the question.
Well, I want to thank all the students for coming today. I see a lot of my South High students' names and putting your information in the chat. So thank you very much for listening to my emails and showing up today. And we got some comments in the, and we have one more question here. Do you apply to Job Corps even if you are going to college?
So very difficult to do both. So Job Corps is a full-time day program, Monday through Friday, 8 a.m. to 3:30 p.m. So if you're going to college, if you've been accepted and that's your route, good for you. Congratulations. Go for it. If you change your mind and you think college isn't for you right away, then you can apply to us. And again, the beauty of our program is you can apply anytime during the year. There's no cutoff. You know, apply whenever you'd like, but you wouldn't be able to do both at the same time.
And like he said, it's from 16 to 24. So say you were doing a college program or something, and then maybe that didn't work out, you know,
Correct.
you could always potentially look back at a Job Corps option.
I can tell you in the last 2 years, I've helped 2 young people with associate's degrees enroll in Job Corps and 2 with bachelor degrees who couldn't find work. One of them had a degree in art history or something, and he came to our program and he did the electrician program or something like that. So yeah, as long as you're eligible, yeah, that's fine.
That's awesome. And so Jay, we have a question. What if you're still in school? So I would say to that one, we want you to finish school, complete your high school diploma, and then pursue some other opportunities. But
Right.
Yeah, I would agree with that. Definitely want to make sure you finish school before you do anything else. But the thing about some of our programs or trainings that we have is you might be able to, if you're finishing school in June, our classes, you know, sometimes we have them in the afternoon or daytime, sometimes we have them in the evening. So it might be a situation where you could start the class for a couple of weeks while you're in school, and then, you know, because I don't think it would interfere towards the end of your senior year. Obviously, if the class fits around your high school schedule.
right, and a lot of students do dual enrollment and different other options, so they're able to sometimes have that option. So that's good that you pointed that out.
Dave, could you talk about the progression from Job Corps to college for some students?
Sure, and that is a good question. And most Job Corps centers have something called ACT or ACT, Advanced College Training. So we've actually have students who are living on campus finish the program. You know, maybe they came in with their high school diploma or they didn't have it, so they got their GED with us, say, and they completed and they still have time available in the program. They live on campus and they've attended like QCC while they're living on the Job Corps campus. Also, you can complete our program, and as part of the placement, we would help you go to college rather than a job, or it could be both. It could be community college or a local 4-year school and a part-time job. So that's part of our placement. So absolutely. And if you know, someone comes in with their high school diploma, then obviously they're eligible to apply for any college. But if you get your GED with us, you're definitely eligible for community college. So, and we would help you with that.
Okay, we have another question here. It's about more specifics. I think like vet career or veterinary trainings. Is that something that any of the maybe Mass Hire could link them to or help them with? Or even Grafton, I don't
Yeah,
know.
I was actually reading that question from Jocelyn, and my answer would be yes. The way we would do it, we go about it is really trying to figure out what's the best fit after doing a course, the assessment.
And
And
Roy,
then-
Deb has also answered a little bit in the chat, so just.
Oh, okay.
So-
Yes.
Good, Deb.
Yep, there is a program at QCC that offers a vet tech. I did put in the chat how to, you go to the QCC website and look under workforce training, and you should be able to see when that's going to be offered. And again, like all of our training programs, we do offer them on a rolling basis. So you just have to find the right program for you. And no, you don't have to be a student at QCC.
So going to that website would be essentially signing up for a different program at QCC, but not at the college. They have 2 branches, so that's what the workforce training is for those students who may have a question.
And absolutely, and here at the Career Center, we do have someone who is a navigator. Her name is Dawn Carissus, and Dawn can help in that process as well. So it's very important, you know, if you know what you want to do, doesn't matter if I'm not 18. I think it matters more to us that you're, you know, in terms of qualifying dollars from us, you do have to be 18. But as far as getting you enrolled until you are 18 and getting you with those individuals that can assist you, like Dawn, myself, and even, Deb and others. So that's the most important thing. So, yeah.
Okay, perfect. And I have given Jocelyn my email, so we're gonna chat after
You're
a little bit.
welcome.
Thank you guys so much for answering all the questions. Perfect.
All right, it is 11:45. If there are no more questions, we will wrap up. And it looks like nobody else has asked anything. I want to thank our presenters. This information has been fantastic. I imagine we will have students asking for follow-up, so hopefully we will be in touch with students. Thank you for joining us, and
Thank you
that's the
very
end of our
much.
session.
Thank you for having us.
Have a
It's
great
our
Students,
pleasure.
great
You're always
job.
welcome to join us.
Thank you.
Thank
Take
you.
care, everyone. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Have a good day.
Bye, guys.